everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Alison, the online piano and the online violin tutor. So it seems absolutely forever since I've done a tutorial, and I actually haven't done a tutorial like this in a really long time. Just very quickly, for those of you that follow my social media, you will know, and for those of you that watch the Mexi vlogs that I did at the start of the year, you'll know what's going on. But just this year, 2017, I'm just my channel's just going through a little bit of a transition at the moment. So I'm not going to be doing so many of these kind of tutorials that I normally do, simply because they take up a lot of time. And there are some other video ideas that I've got planned as well that I want to put on this channel, and just generally I want to be a little bit more creative. So the tutorials are basically taking away from all that creativeness and trying to do the tutorials on a weekly basis, which means finding the sheet music, especially if the song is a little bit more obscure, finding the sheet music, getting the sheet music, making the sheet music, arranging it for easy violin, doing all that kind of stuff that I do for you guys. Just believe it or not, it takes a tremendous amount of time, and I work alone as well, so I don't have anybody helping me, so obviously it takes a lot longer. So anyway, I'm not going to be doing as many tutorials. I'll be doing the odd one or two when a good song comes out, like this one by Ed Sheeran today, and the ones that I feel that I want to do as well, but I'm not going to be sort of releasing them on a weekly basis. They just take up too much time, and as I said, I've got some other ideas. So anyway, enough of the jibber jabber, let's just get on with the video, which is why we're all here. So today I'm going to take you through a very quick tutorial of How Would You Feel by Ed Sheeran, which is his newest song, which was released, I think only literally just released on his channel and everything just a few days ago. So I've got the sheet music here that I've arranged for violin. I pretty much kept it the same kind of arrangement as how Ed Sheeran sings it, just because I couldn't really make it any easier, so to speak. So I just basically just kept everything as is. I've also literally just done a performance video of this, which is why you see the setup here. So if you want to see me perform this, then either click on the link that's coming up here, or there will be a link in the description bar underneath. I'm not going to play it through in this video because it makes the video longer, so there's a separate video for the performance. So go there if you want to hear me play this. And if you want to know where to get the free sheet music that I've got in my hands, and again, there'll be a link in the description bar directly underneath this video. Be free to download as per usual. So if you want to know how to play How Would You Feel by Ed Sheeran, then download and print out your copy of the music, and let's get going. Okay, so very quickly, in my usual style, this is all written out in pencil right now. It won't be when you come to download this music, but what you will see is you will see the finger numbers for all the notes. This little bit at the start here is just what the piano does. It's like an introduction, so that's why I've put it in small. So play that if you want to play it, or just use it as reference. But you're going to start here, and you've got all the finger numbers on all of the notes. When you've got doubles of notes, I obviously don't put in 1 1 0 0 0 0. It's kind of self-explanatory. And above those, you'll see the letters of all the strings you're going to be on. So it's going to be second finger on the A, second on the A, 1 on A, 1 on A, 1 on D, open A, and so on and so forth. So that's just generally how I usually do it. So I'm just going to, again, I'm not going to play it because I've already got a separate performance of this, but I'm just going to take you through one or two little trickier parts with this. Before I do any playing, let me just take you through the order of the piece. So if I just quickly take you through the order, you're going to play it all the way through until you get to there. Start from there, play that through again, jump over to the second time bar. When you've played this bar, you're going to jump over here to this the little sign, the dal segno sign. Then you're going to play it all the way through until it says to coda. Then you're going to jump over to here, and then you're going to carry on playing till the end. Okay, this is also in the original key of A major that Ed Sheeran sings it in as well. It's a nice key for the violin, so again, I didn't even bother changing it. I've also got a backing track for this as well, so if you want to if you want to download the backing track, there'll be a link directly underneath this video as well if you want to go ahead and get hold of that. It's a backing track that I've done myself, so I've just added a couple little bits in, this, that and the other. Okay, so A major, in the key of A major, there isn't really anything particularly tricky. I know I always say this on every single piece, but in this one, there's a lot of bars rest, so there's going to be a lot of bars where we're not actually going to be playing anything. But if I just take you through some of the most important notes and things, there's going to be a lot of open A's in this. Now it's up to you if you want to do the fourth fingers or if you want to do the open A's. Because this is like an easy tutorial, I always put the open A's in just as a first port of call. If you want to go ahead and put the fourth fingers in, maybe you're learning a little bit of vibrato and you want to do a bit of vibrato, go ahead and do that. I will leave that up to you. I played this all in first position when I did this for the performance. It wasn't really worth going into any other positions. For any of you guys that kind of know what I mean with that, it wasn't worth going into any of the other positions. You could have done near the start where it's, you could have done, that. I recorded it on the electric violin, so I didn't do that. It just, I don't know, it depends. It's up to you if you want to go in positions. If you do, I'm talking about measure 12, 11. I'm talking about measure 10 when that comes up. So you can do a second finger for the C. Instead of doing an open E, you jump up to the E in third position, and then the F is with a finger 3. Another E. Jump back down to the C. Or fourth finger for the A. So it's up to you if you want to do that or not, or just play it. Play it with 4 fingers or open strings. The only reason why I don't like playing with open strings is that the open E string especially can be very harsh, and also the change between, it's very easy because of the way the, did you just hear that there? I was just trying to replicate that. You can get, can't do it now. But yeah, the squeak that you heard the first time, because of the way it is, I would automatically avoid that. So either go up into third position or use a fourth finger, but I wouldn't use an open E because, there you go. So you're likely to get something like that. And you don't want that kind of scratch. So that was me doing that on purpose, by the way, before anybody jumps in. So I would just avoid doing that open. If you're doing something like a 2 or maybe even a 3 on the A string, and then you're going over to the E string, I know that you're going to get that kind of scratchy sound there, or the I don't know what you want, just that kind of screech that you get from the E string. So I would always avoid whenever I see something like that. Now it's just second nature to me, so I always avoid that kind of thing. So yeah, whenever you see something like that comes in bar 13 as well, you can go up into third position, or just generally avoid the open E strings, especially from the C, E, F. Don't do an open E there. But the 2 E's you get after that F, you can do an open E if you want to. Okay, so with the positioning of the fingers then, we're in A major. So that means that the first fingers on the E string are going to be in the regular position in your dots. I know I haven't got any dots on my violin at the moment. I can't find where they are, but my first finger would be on the position of the dot or the line, whatever you want to call it. So imagine that's there. We don't have any G's on the E string, so that doesn't matter. So the second fingers on the most important ones are the second fingers on the A string are going to be stretched. So they're going to be, in other words, they're going to be right next door to where the third finger would be. They're not going to be, so imagine the first finger's there on the regular dot, the third finger's also on its regular dot. The second finger can either be in 1 or 2 positions. It can either be right next to the first finger, or it can be right next to the third finger. In today's video or this music, we're going to be next to the third finger. So all the second fingers are going to be stretched. So that goes for the same is true for the D string as well. When you've got F sharps on the D string, your second finger is going to be stretched. I don't think there's anything else that I really need to explain rather than kind of teaching you all to suck eggs and things. There's nothing else that's that I really need to kind of go through. I suppose just the only other thing is just, like I said, watch for the open strings. Just have an experiment with them. Even if you're not doing vibrato, I would still recommend that you do the fourth fingers anyway. You'll be surprised, and you might not like them to start with because you're probably not used to doing the fourth fingers. You're generally not, as a beginner, you're generally quite scared of them because you don't get the best sound from them. But as you get used to them, they will sound a lot better than open strings. There's something about open strings that just sound a bit shrill and not really part of the music. So from the beginning, for example, you don't really get any kind of difference in tone. That's if I take the vibrato off. I just find it's a lot cleaner by using the fourth fingers there, and I know you guys are probably not going to like them, especially if you're a beginner, but this is a really good exercise to get you used to playing those fourth fingers and get you used to using them. And I do use them, especially something like this. It probably isn't worth going into third position. You can if you want to. I didn't in the performance, just because I just didn't, just whatever, it was just my choice not to. I might be playing this again in another situation and I might go into third position, whatever, depending on what the mood takes me. But I still do fourth fingers in this, and I do put vibrato on them as well, and I think fourth fingers are fine. And I also think as well that you can get quite a nice tone with using fourth fingers. It kind of gives you, fourth fingers are weak fingers, I will agree with you there, but also sometimes if you are finishing phrases with fourth fingers, even though they're weak, it can give you a nice diminuendo to a phrase. So a lot of his bars end with open A's. So even though it's quite weak, I can actually make that work to my advantage by making it weaker rather than the last note. I don't want that. I was actually playing bar 20, by the way. So the last note was a big fat open A string that I can't control. That is an open A, or if I try and play that softer, I don't get quite a nice tone. It's almost like a harmonic that I'm creating. So but if it's a fourth finger, I can control that, so I can make the ends of my phrases a lot neater and a lot nicer, and I can put a nice diminuendo at the end of those phrases by using those fourth fingers. So because it's a weak finger, I can quite often use that to my advantage. So don't forget that, guys. You wouldn't use fourth fingers necessarily all the time, but in a piece like this, I think it's perfect, which is another reason why I didn't instantly want to go into different positions. And perhaps I could have done, what else could I have done? Something like, whatever, I could have gone into whatever it's got there. I could have gone into third position there, but again, I don't get that diminuendo. It's very hard to do that because then I'm playing in a different position and I'm playing on a much stronger part of my hand. So anyway, it's up to you what you want to do with the fourth fingers, but I do recommend that you use them. So there we go. I think that's pretty much it. I don't think there's anything else I really need to mention in this. Anything else that I think you guys might struggle with, just remember where your second fingers are going to be, and just have a play around with those fourth fingers and try and use those to your advantage and try and make those fourth fingers, can't say it, stronger and better. So thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to watch the performance, give it a little thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, all of that kind of stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.